can hear me. Sorry about that. Yeah, sound was off there. But Sanbonan Dumelang Absheni, welcome to everyone again. As I said before, I haven't been on camera for a bit. I've been hiding my face, trying to get away from all of these media platforms that are run by powers that we don't like very much. But anyway, I just had to get this out because truth needs to be told. So this is how things are. This is the truth about what's happening with these so-called xenophobic attacks here in South Africa. I had to speak about them because these are causing a big detrimental, they're just to the detriment of the relationship between us African brothers. This all started way back when South Africans wanted to have their land back. Now, you may ask, where do these two topics or things come together? Well, basically, when us South Africans started the whole thing that we wanted our land back, the so-called white people, which are actually Dutch Nazis or descendants thereof, were very offended, and they started a whole media drive saying that we were genociding them, blah blah, yakety schmackety fist paste, and that we were killing all these white farmers, and all of the lies that they spread. And all of those lies that were spread by their same media and the foreign media got stopped when us Africans or native South Africans started showing the people across the world how, in fact, these Dutch Nazis or descendants thereof actually inherited this land, and how they got it through the Native Land Act of 1910 through to 1913 and even earlier. And the media shut up about it. So it came back to when now they had to come up with another plan, these whites and the Chinese and the Indian and Pakistani people, brothers, because they're all one brotherhood against us African people. So they had to come up with another plan, which brings us to where we are now. Earlier this year, the same Dutch Nazis went to Israel, got training from the Mossad because they felt that they needed to be protected against us native South Africans for when we came to take our land back forcefully, if that's what they thought. So that's not the only reason why they visited Israel, because Israel, they're not the loyalist peoples. I know YouTube will probably cut me, or some Jewish person will come and say I'm anti whatever, semi whatever that is. We don't care, Baba. Your guys got killed by Hitler, and so did you guys come with your apartheid, so you can stop with your baby crying stories. As much as you say we must forget about what y'all did to us and been doing to us. But anyway, that's another story for another day. What I'm here about is, as I said, this story about what is going on in South Africa with these xenophobic attacks. So these people, the powers that be, so-called, want to cause a rift between us Nigerians and South African brothers. Let's remember that Africa has now signed a trade agreement which makes Africa the biggest economic power in the world. And no matter how many countries come together from the West, Europe and the East, they'll never be able to surpass us because they have little or not as much minerals and resources as we do, that they have been plundering for centuries. So it comes back to what I was saying. South Africa and Nigeria are the biggest economic hubs of Africa. Well, there are richer countries, but that's what we have been dubbed. And Nigeria has just come on board in signing this, the Africa Trade Agreement and being a part of it. Now, with all of that, that means two of Africa's biggest economic power hubs are now in one trade agreement with the rest of Africa, with all of its resources and its riches. And if these two are butting heads and fighting, that means there are tensions in that same trade agreement. One may say, yeah, this thing was never going to work anyway. Yeah, look at the people from this country doing this to our people, blah, 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 yakety schmackety. I'm not saying, Gucci, all of South Africans are innocent. I'm not saying all of the Nigerians are innocent. There's some Nigerian guys and brothers that are doing bad things in our country, and vice versa in Nigeria. There's some South Africans that are doing bad things in Nigeria. But that's not the point of the matter. As Africans, we solve our problems in special ways amongst ourselves and not in front of this Western media, because that's what they want us to do. What now I want to refer to why I went back to the whole land thing in South Africa and these white Nazis going to Israel earlier in the year is now they went and got help from the Israeli Mossad and their mercenaries. As you may know, they're economic henchmen, jackals, hitmen that go to countries, cause instability, and they are paid by powers that be. And once that instability is caused, they are able to do what they want to do in each and every place. So I just want to play you a small clip in the midst of this so you guys know what I'm talking about in terms of who Israel is and what they're capable of and where they actually started in Bombayana country. But you get a glimpse of who they are, what they are about, and where they got all of their tactics. Yeah, man, it's a clip from a great man, yeah. They also probably would say this guy is crazy, but anyway, I'm gonna play it and yeah, do join me. Do join me as we view this.
Your Muslim religion take part into your choice of the Arabs?
It is not because of the Muslim, because the people who broke relationship with Israel, they are not only Muslims, they are Christians, but they have seen the truth, and everybody listen for me. And even in OAU, if I don't speak, every leader try to ask why, and I must speak like in a non-aligned conference in Algeria. I was not feeling well, I did not speak, but 15 minutes before the conference closed, I was brought to come and give a speech. I gave very good speech, including Castro broke relationship with Israel after my speech.
Telegram sent to Mr. Kurt Waldheim, Permanent Secretary of the United Nations. Hitler and all the German people knew that the Israelis are not people who work in the interest of the people of the world, and that is why they burnt 6 million Jews alive with gas on the soil of Germany. This telegram was sent the day after the Munich killings. Some years before, General Amin had undergone, as had other Ugandans, paratroop training in Israel.
But I'm trained as a paratrooper in Israel. But I have got a very good brain, and even General Dayan knows that I am very good field officer.
You know Dayan very well?
I know him, and he has been my friend. He has been giving me dinner, luncheon in his house. If I go to Israel, I used to stay with Dayan. He brings Air Force band playing for me. We stay together. But I must make it absolutely truth. The reason why I chased them from Uganda was because of the economy of Uganda. Uganda was going to be bankrupt. That is the reason why I chased away the Israelis.
And you said you were friends with Golda Meir.
Yes, because she used to give me very good entertainment when I go to Israel.
Then you changed completely from an Israeli alliance to the Arab alliance.
I changed from Israeli alliance because Israeli are criminals. and they are not trusted people. They don't tell the world the truth. They were taken to Palestine as refugees, and then they changed Palestine to become a state of Israel by force of arms given to them by Americans and the British.
But is it true that you said Hitler didn't kill enough Jews during the war?
All right. Yeah. So that was a small clip from General Idi Amin. It's a documentary of his, or that they shot of him. But it gives you a glimpse of what I'm trying to say about Israelis and who they are and what their mission is in the world. I mean, they were refugees and they decided to take over a place, and now they're declaring, hey, this is our holy land, this is our holy land, when Israel was never there to begin with. So this is it. Bantu benkosi, Nigerian, South African brothers, let's stay as brothers. We are Africans. Let's not forget, there is no such thing as South Africa. There's no such thing as Nigeria. There's no such thing as Congo. There's no such thing as Egypt and all of that. Why I say this is because, remember, all of these countries were created when those guys were sitting at the Berlin Conference or whatever it may be, and they started to split Africa amongst themselves as colonies to say, Britain, you'll take this part, you'll take this part, Zbanban, you'll take this part, and so forth and so forth. And that's where they came up with the names of these various countries. Now, as I had just said, all of those places don't exist, meaning as Africans, we also come from one place. We were once one, coming from the central part of Africa, and when they landed in the center, we all split our separate ways, be it north, south, west, east, and some stayed in the center. So let's not forget, batho ba modimo ma-Afrika hore rena re bo mang. You know what I mean? And let's stick together. Whoever is in Nigeria and saying they're giving South Africans 7 days to leave, and other rumors stating that taxi drivers in South Africa are giving 7 days for Nigerians to leave the country. No, let's not have that. The people who should actually be leaving are these Chinese, are these Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi people, and these Dutch Nazis who have been here and have overstayed their welcome for a long time. Only Africans belong in Africa. The rest, aburukwa. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to say. Whether you see this video, don't see it, Aksanandaba. I know YouTube will probably block it or delete it at some point. If not, all the better. If so, that means there's some truth that we've been saying here. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. And yeah, man, Niben right. And let's not forget, we want our land back, and our land back we shall get. Whether these Dutch Nazis or these Zionist Nazi Jews want or not, we're going to get our land back. We see you. We see you. Sinpegile. Sinpegile. Akubenjalo. Thokozani.